Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 19, text number 29. Text number 29. Itiya mantriya kratupatim vidurasyart vijorusha shrugrastan juhvato bhyeta swayambhu pratyassedata. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Vidura, after giving the king this advice, the priest who had been engaged in performing the sacrifice called for Indra, the king of heaven, in a mood of great anger. When they were just ready to put the oblation in the fire, Lord Brahma appeared on the scene and forbade them to start the sacrifice. Text 30. Na vadhyo bhagavatam indro yad yajño bhagavatanuhu yam jijñam shasata yajñena yasyas chestastanavasuraha. Lord Brahma addressed them thus. My dear sacrificial performers, you cannot kill Indra, the king of heaven. It is not your duty. You should know that Indra is as good as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Indeed, he is one of the most powerful assistants of the Personality of Godhead. You are trying to satisfy all the demigods by the performance of yajna. But you should know that all these demigods are but part and parcels of Indra, the king of heaven. How then can you kill him in this great sacrifice? Text 31. Yad tad idam pashyata mahad dharma vitikaram dujaha indrena anushtitam rajnyaha karmaitad vijigam sata. In order to make trouble and impede this performance of King Prithu's great sacrifice, King Indra has adopted some means that in future will destroy the clear path of religious life. I draw your attention to this fact. If you oppose him any further, he will further misuse his power and introduce many other irreligious systems. Text 32. Prituk kirtehe prator bhyuyat tarhi ekona shatakratuhu alamte kratubihi swishtair yad bhavan moksha dharma ved. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let there be only 99 sacrificial performances for Maharaj Prithu. Lord Brahma concluded. Lord Brahma then turned towards Maharaj Prithu and informed him that since he was thoroughly aware of the path of liberation, what was the use in performing more sacrifices? Purport. Lord Brahma came down to pacify King Prithu regarding his continual performance of 100 sacrifices. King Prithu was determined to perform 100 sacrifices. And King Indra took this very seriously because Indra himself was known as a performer of 100 sacrifices. Just as it is the nature of all living entities within the material world to become envious of their competitors, King Indra, although king of heaven, was also envious of King Prithu and therefore wanted to stop him from performing 100 sacrifices. Actually, there was great competition, and King Indra, to satisfy his senses, began to invent so many irreligious systems to obstruct King Prithu. To stop these irreligious inventions, Lord Brahma personally appeared in the sacrificial arena. As far as Maharaj Prithu was concerned, He was a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, it was not necessary for him to perform the prescribed Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. Such ceremonies are known as karma, and there is no need for a devotee in transcendental position to execute them. As the ideal king, however, it was King Prithu's duty to perform sacrifices. A compromise was therefore to be worked out. By the blessings of Lord Brahma, King Prithu would become more famous than King Indra. Thus, Prithu's determination to perform 100 sacrifices were indirectly fulfilled by the blessings of Lord Brahma. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So, the issue is continuing. One decision was taken that the sacrificial performers, Ritviks, will chant mantras which amounts to bringing Indra to the sacrificial arena and offering him himself as a sacrifice in the fire. So, as it is said here, the Ritviks, in angry tone, with anger, they took the sacrificial ladle and wanted to start chanting the mantras for this purpose, to bring Indra into the fire. Such was the power, such powers existed. Exists even now. The mantras, the sound is so powerful that it can perform all this. It can manifest all these things. So, we are about to do it, and then immediately Brahma appeared there. Brahma appeared there and he forbade Maharaj Prithu from doing this 100th sacrifice. He said 100 is enough, 99 is enough. Naturally, Brahma's instruction is being taken with great respect by Maharaj Prithu. And the reasoning that Brahma gave was that, look, you don't need to get power through these sacrifices, because you are already an empowered incarnation of the Lord. Lord's power is already given to you because you have come down with a purpose. But for the sake of the duty of every king, you are performing these sacrifices as an ideal king. But you don't need this. He reminded him. And therefore, they did not complete the 100th sacrifice. A compromise was worked out. However, even though he did not complete his 100th sacrifice, Maharaj Prithu became more famous than King Indra. In a way, indirectly, the desire of Maharaj Prithu was fulfilled. So basically, Brahma said, don't be angry, forgive him. And you have got powers beyond these beyond the powers that you can get through these yajnas. And one should think that there could be an higher arrangement. And this way Brahma continues to preach. So Srila Prabhupada talks about devotees need not do these kind of Vedic ritualistic ceremonies. As we discussed earlier also, so many Vedas are full of different kinds of prescriptions for executing various kinds of sacrifices, for getting so many things, so many material auspiciousness. For that, these ritualistic ceremonies are carried out. That is already designed into this creation. After letting forth, the devotees acquire different kinds of bodies according to their past karma. The Creator, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, had also given them this user manual of life, material life. How one can fulfill one's desire for power, for knowledge, for becoming famous, or for love, or for pleasure. It is possible that one can get very high achievement in terms of this basic rasas that one is seeking in the material world by performance of such ritualistic ceremonies. So this is any citizens of a Vedic life, Vedic society, knows that there are certain tapasyas, austerities, or penance which you have to do. Then you will be rewarded with the results as prescribed in the Vedas. Worship this demigod, that demigod, sacrifice this, that, and so many things. So therefore, Krishna's opinion, one should understand the proper, even though we promote in Krishna consciousness movement, we hold Vedas with great respect. But we understand that that is Krishna given prescriptions. For those who do not want to go back to Godhead, they want to enjoy life, including very high life in the heavenly planets, like Indra. All those things are, if living entities want it, then the Lord has told you follow the Vedas, fruitive activities, then you will definitely, by my mercy, you will get it. Because I have already put in place the laws of nature, that even you don't need my involvement. You perform those tapasyas, then you will get those powers. Just like Hiranyakashipu or Ravana, they were so powerful. Where did they get their power from? From tapasya. They did tapasya. So from tapasya, earning power is encoded in the material energy. Unless you put effort. Now in the case of people are putting a lot of effort in the modern day, working very hard, morning to evening, so many industries. So, but this is not prescribed work, even to enjoy. Why are they working? They are working to enjoy. Enjoyment means, I already told, Sat, Chit and Ananda. Power, knowledge, love, pleasure. This is the instinct of the soul to seek these things. And it is seeking in this material world. Everybody is seeking at any point of time. You ask, okay, right now, what are you chasing? Either he may be chasing power, or he may be chasing knowledge, or at that point of time he may be chasing love. Chasing means seeking rasa. Like people go and work morning to evening. The work is connected to power, because without working they cannot get existence, their salary. If the employer stops giving salary, he will stop working. So he is working for power. He comes back home. Then he is chasing love. Want to love and want to be loved. And chasing pleasure. Is it not? If you check any individual's life, during the day, the object of his chase will be fluctuating. Sometimes it is for Sat, sometimes it is for Chit, sometimes it is for Ananda. They're chasing for it, but you get only fake Chat, Sat, Chit and Ananda, you get. But the inner quest is for eternal Sat, Chit and Ananda. But that inner quest for intrinsic, innate hunger of each jiva for Sat, Chit and Ananda, that is not earned. It is given by the Supreme Lord. Those who want to earn it, they come into this material world. That is called fruitive activities. So other path for the jiva is to not his life impetus. His life is not moved by seeking Sat, Chit and Ananda. His life is moved by service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And his inspiration is not Satchitananda, his inspiration is service, because his inspiration is to please Guru and Krishna by his activities. So by his activities, all his chesta is for devotion service. Krishna kila chesta. All his chesta, all his effort is to please Guru and Krishna. This is completely different from everybody else's chesta. People are running day and night, moving here, moving there. This civilization, what is pushing them? It is pushing them only momentary power, knowledge, all these things. Because they know nothing better than that. They know nothing better than that. Only by the mercy of a pure devotee, when you come in touch with him, and then you get the great chance. Oh, I can live my life without chasing these things. Without this chasing, nothing comes. Yes. Without chasing this, you will be given Sat, Chit and Ananda. If you chase, if you dovetail your chasing tendency through different endeavors to please Guru and Krishna. We work hard for Guru's mission. We chase to distribute more books, more temples, make devotees. We chase advancement in spiritual life by struggling, by offering tapasya to chant and hear the very same sound. In fact, it's the most powerful tapasya one can do in Kali-yuga, is to hear the holy name. Automatically tapasya means power comes. But we want power, we get power to serve the Lord. It's not that we don't want power, we don't want relationship, we don't want knowledge. Everything we want. But that we want, we don't say, that is given to us, but we want to serve the Lord. We can say, we don't want power, we don't want knowledge, we don't want, that means we don't chase these things. But we receive them as prasadam in order to facilitate, we dovetail our chasing. You get power, just like devotees get money. They do their activity of preaching, and the money comes. They don't reject it. No, we don't want money. We don't want love. No, in this material world, when you are there, if there is love among devotees, it's very good. Love and affection among devotees, it is definitely welcome. Because we can offer devotion service in a community very nicely, working together, cooperating together. So we don't want anything, we don't chase anything. This is the entire paradigm of a Vaishnava. Today, if you see as an organization, we are handling money, we are handling knowledge, we are handling relationship with people, all these things we are handling. Krishna consciousness, ultimate perfection is not to come to one situation where you don't handle these things at all. I am detached from all these things. No, one should be detached from his enjoying tendency. One should be attached to giving enjoyment to Krishna. So here Prithu Maharaj is a great devotee, empowered devotee of the Lord. But to set example, he acted like an emperor. His duties, worldly duties. But then Brahma is reminding him, no, make exemption here. Make an exemption here. You don't have to do all these things. You're already powerful. Just like devotees. Okay, they want to do some function, they look for some good muhurta. But then it is to set example. Because we are living in this world. And we are a preaching organization, so people see and they should learn from us. So if they see us breaking these things, then they will also lose value for the Vedic injunctions. So we also see some muhurta, Prabhupada also sometimes. But then he said, we don't care. If it doesn't match, go ahead. Because we are performing devotion service of the Lord. It's completely a transcendental path. It is not another path in this material world. Chanting the holy name is not another punya or anything in this material world. Even though it automatically, it leaves its mark in the material world as the highest punya and brings auspiciousness, material auspiciousness to everyone in this material world, as we discussed the other day, Sankirtana, it leaves behind a mark. That means it has an impact. It has a material impact. Though we are not doing it for material impact. We are doing it to chant Hare Krishna. We are doing it to purify our heart and go back to Godhead. But in the process, because it is automatically from the material plane, it's one of the highest tapasya encoded. Those who do japa, chant, if they have material desires, automatically all those things will also fructify. So this thing we have to understand, how Krishna consciousness is a transcendental process. Sometimes we think, okay, I was in one extreme, I rejected all the Vedas, Vedic path, I didn't know anything about Sanatana Dharma, all those things. And now I have come to Krishna consciousness, now I become a Vedic person. Now I have to follow this, I have to follow that, all those things. You read something in the Karma Khanda, we should do this, why we are not doing this in ISKCON, why we are not doing this, the questions and all sometimes devotees, because you misunderstood, you have not joined the Vedic path. You have joined the Transcendental path. So there is a transcendental process, a direct process. When you surrender to Krishna, it's a direct process. And this everybody cannot get. Manushanam Sahasresh. Thousands and thousands of human beings, they hardly, one of them get a chance. Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate. After many, many births, one get a chance to surrender to Krishna. Once you surrender to Krishna, it's not a normal staircase climbing business. It's a transcendental path. You progress in leaps and bounds by chanting Hare Krishna. You get purified fast. And everything, Satya, Chitta and Ananda, is gifted as wished and willed by the Lord for the devotee. Devotee is taken care of by the Supreme Lord. He has no shortage of anything. So Krishna consciousness is not, though we may talk about Varnashrama, Dharma, all those things, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught, ultimately it's all beyond. You are not a Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Grahastha, Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. No. You are eternal servant of Krishna. And that is the goal of this Sankirtana, to awaken our consciousness. So whether the Vedic adherence is there or not, for instance in Kali-yuga, if you really say, okay, I am a great Vedic follower, I want to follow all the Vedas, just like some Brahmanas, they think you have to follow all the Vedas, and they try to follow. But very few. It is not possible in Kali-yuga to follow all those things. The atmosphere itself is not pure. The atmosphere itself is so contaminated. You cannot remain pure. You get contaminated. Just like how when we chant our 16 rounds in the morning, we are very fresh. And then we go out, we preach, doing so many things in this material activity. By time evening, you will see that our consciousness gets diluted. Krishna consciousness gets diluted. Again we have to read, again we have to engage in the program, evening program. In fact, Prabhupada talked about the process of sadhana is a sandwich program. Sandwich means, morning is sadhana, evening also sadhana, in between preaching. In fact, in early days, not only morning sadhana, now we are standardized morning sadhana. Evening Bhagavad Gita class and reading was essentially the sadhana. Gita class and reading. Sandhyarati, Gita class and reading. This is a ideal program. So some adjustments we have made over the time for the sake of preaching, where there is long, of course the sadhana in the morning, normally it's very short, not as long as our ISKCON Bangalore. It's a very long process, ours. Normally by 8 o'clock class is over also. In many temples. But we have gone, we have 1 hour extra kirtan. Because in the evening, it's more, devotees go out and to come late. So preaching, they have to stay behind for that. So that is why we have increased the sadhana contact hours more in the morning and evening. But it is a very, very good if the devotees, especially those who join, if their engagement permits, in other words, going out and coming back at the right time, main preachers come back early, at least the new devotees should try, not only in the morning sadhana, strict sadhana, they can make their own, because you cannot standardize, because varieties of situations are there, preaching situations, we don't standardize. But we should ensure that if you are there morning, evening also, come, have darshan of the deities, Sandhyarati, at least you can attend Sandhyarati, Gorarati, and then you can read. Basically, evening time, one should understand, is meant for reading. The more you read, more, because otherwise, where is the time to read? Morning is fully tight, you are hearing Bhagavatam, all right, so then there is no reading time. Then you have to apply your mind in preaching. So evening, always, please remember, it's not meant for spacing out, spending time, gossiping and all those things. Evening time should be captured for reading Prabhupada's books, have darshan of the deities, attend Sandhyarati but make sure that one reads Bhagavad Gita, hear Prabhupada's one Bhagavad Gita lecture. These things are very important. Even though evening there is no rigid program here, we have got extra rigid 1 hour program happening in the morning, which keeps us all very completely prepared to go out and preach. So in the atmosphere that if you see here, in the Kali-yuga, atmosphere is not there to remain pure and do all those things. Materially pure you have to be, materially clean you have to be, mentally clean you have to be, morally clean you have to be, in order to follow those Vedic rituals. That's why most of the rituals are followed are done by Ritviks, who keep themselves clean and all those things. Even if a Vaishya or a Kshatriya want some results, they engage the Ritviks to do all these things. They engage them and they do it. And then the results come. So today, where are the Ritviks? Where are that kind of people trained in Vedic thing? Where are the ingredients, pure ingredients? Nothing is possible. And that we have to understand, that when Krishna incarnates, every Kali-yuga Krishna does not incarnate. Once in a day of Brahma he incarnates. And that we are very fortunate, we are contemporaries of Krishna. Therefore this Guru Parampara through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has continued the glories of Krishna, presenting the glories of Krishna and the chanting of the holy name to the population now. and we are able to chant Hare Krishna and follow all these things, and don't bother about any other karma kanda, this thing, that thing, this thing, all. No. 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds. And we are above the karmic obligations to perform shraddha, to do this. So many things are there. Some little residual leftovers are there of Vedic culture in the outside world also. So ISKCON is not representing that. ISKCON, Prabhupada's movement is representing pure bhakti. How to awaken our pure love of Godhead. It's nothing to do with the standard processes. So we don't. Even Arjuna told Krishna told Arjuna, Vedesya sarver ahameva vedye vedanta krit veda eva cha aham. Don't talk more big moral philosophy to me, Krishna said. Now I am here, I am telling you to fight. Kill these people, kill. In the normal course, one would say, to kill my guru will be sin. To kill my cousin brothers will be sin. To kill my elders whom I have interacted with and which I have gained so much from them. Dronacharya. And Dronacharya is standing opposite side. I learnt archery from him. Krishna says, kill. So the significance is Krishna, not any rules and regulation. If Krishna is there with us, if Krishna is remembered, then everything auspicious comes. Om appavitro pavitro va. What is that? Sarvavastam. Yatsmaret pundarikaksham. Sabbahyantra. In and out, everything. Antar and bahya, suchihi. Becomes pure. That is the power of just remembering Krishna. Just like when we do Abhishekam and all these things, we do Swasti Vachana. That is also just remembering the Lord. Finish. Everything is pure. All inauspicious things goes away. That's what we take the Akshata. That means everything, all inauspicious things are captured in the Akshata and they're thrown behind. Now it's, by the mercy of the Supreme Lord and the Vaishnavas, we don't need any other purification. Swasti Vachana is enough. Remembrance. Swasti Vachana is remembrance. And then we get qualified. Any other questions? Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sometimes in the organizational setup, different devotees take different responsibilities. Someone is in youth preaching, someone is in fundraising, someone is in PR. Apparently, it looks like a devotee in specific service is not worried about other preaching. Like a PR might be worried about VIPs but not worried about youths. Youth preacher might be worried about youths but he's not worried about sponsors. Sponsors are not worried about others. So it may look they are discriminative, but while preaching. So
discriminating
in the they are not equally disposed for preaching and compassionate.
That is your understanding of preaching is wrong.
So how do we?
Preaching means, according to you, talking Krishna consciousness. Everything is preaching. What if you didn't get prasadam? What you will talk? If the cook doesn't cook, right? If the devotees in the altar, they do not do the nice, take care of the Lord nicely, what consciousness you will get? So, that is also preaching. Cleaning is also preaching. So that's why I said, in your question, the trap is your understanding of preaching. Somebody is allowed to preach, somebody is just has to cook.
The question is, bro, like the devotee who is involved in specific service. Who is involved in specific service, but in like kind of a small center, devotee does every service. So he is doing preaching, he is doing cooking, who is doing pujari service, and but here in this setup might be because organization is big. He's doing only that. He's not worried about others.
The devotee's goal is not to become expert in each of these
different aspects.
Each of these activities. Devotee's thing is to expert in the quality of service I do, irrespective of what service I get. That is the whole thing. The focus is, service is not equal to that. Service is equal to your chesta, your offering chesta. Whether I do this work or that work or this work, there is a way of bhakti yoga how to do that service, how to do devotional service. So devotional service is cannot be defined as a particular service is devotional service. Even in your own thing, you have chanting, right? Then you come for deity worship. It's different. So, but what is the spirit in which you chant? What is the spirit in which you do this? What is the spirit in which you go out and distribute books? What is the spirit in which you do the puja? What is the spirit in which you clean the floor for Krishna? What is the spirit in which you cook for Krishna? So where is the deprivation? If you're asking about deprivation, that I am stuck with one or something like that. Is that the question?
Yes, bro, it is also deprivation, but also not seeing other services and valuing other services. Like one thing is when someone feels deprived, it might be a little good, but he's thinking, I am only this service. I will only focus on this service, but I will not focus on other services.
No,
like sometimes
if you
in
are
the
not
festivals.
given that service, why you should focus?
So should he feel unhappy because he's not doing other service properly? Because it is not assigned to him.
Huh?
It is not his assigned service.
It's not his assigned service.
So
why
should he feel
bother?
unhappy that I'm not doing that part of devotional service?
No. No, that's not what he's saying. Obviously, we have to respect everybody's service. That's
because
not
in
what
other
he's saying.
center,
No.
he has hand in other services also. So
That
he
is
knows
his service. His service is that.
Yes,
His
yes.
service is to handle everything.
Hence he is
One
able
devotee
to,
will hand 5 departments
correct.
in a small temple.
Hence he is able to give the value, respect to other verticals. But here what happened, he is in one vertical, PR or HR or whatever. He is fully into that and is not respecting others and giving value to others, is what I understood.
No, that's your
what he
question?
is saying, yes.
You don't develop value for that, other services. That first line itself I answered. What you will preach if you don't get prasadam?
Yes, bro, it is right, but...
all connected, interconnected. Everybody, today we are, if the devotees don't go and collect, what will happen? If there's no management here, what will happen? Any more than 2 people mean the management is required. And if organization building is required. If we don't hear good classes, if we don't have devotees who share their realizations to younger devotees, where is that? So that is also service. Everybody has their own services. So it's an organism. Just like you see in your system, your brain is working, liver is working, intestine is working, stomach is working, right? They're all working together. Therefore, you are standing there. Similarly, all these various services are happening. Therefore, this organization. There are different organs in the organization. Those organs are making us part of this organization. So I am doing my service. One should understand that I am part of a whole. So one should work locally, but think or associate globally. Just like you see, we work locally, one center, take in this case, Bangalore center. We don't put our mind so much in other centers. But we have our association that we are all part of the whole. So then we feel a sense of association. For instance, if you are doing a teamwork, each devotee is having his role. He can focus on his role as far as work is concerned, but his thinking should be not to work, but he takes inspiration from the whole. He should feel, I am part of the whole. Not I am simply part, I am part, I am part, I am part. Then you will never get inspiration. Hey, if you are doing HR and you have a sense of association with I am doing HR, part of a whole. That is, suppose you are only doing HR, I have nothing to do with anything else. If you say, you will lose inspiration. You have to get inspiration from the whole. You have to get association from the whole. And then work locally. Your prescribed duty is local. But your consciousness is global. Any other your own question? So that is why it is very important for devotees to know, it is good what is happening here, what is happening there, how our movement is expanding, what preaching happened, here somebody succeeded. It's all relevant to us also because it's inspiration. The growth of Hare Krishna movement in Hyderabad or anywhere else is also a growth for us. So you just see, action may be local. Action may be your prescribed service. ISKCON Bangalore's action may be local concerns of the organization called ISKCON. But it's part of a bigger organization. Yes.
And Prabhu, during Srila, adding to your point that you're assigned service, during Srila Prabhupada's time also it was the same system. The book distributors, Sankirtan distributors, they would go out morning till night, they were doing only book distribution.
Right.
The pujaris, they were only doing pujari service, taking care of deities from morning till night. Painters and
Correct.
all those. So it was the same thing that was followed even during
You
that
see,
time.
what happens, another thing is, initially we have to give, that is why we have come up with all these systems. Everybody gets exposure to all departments.
Yeah.
Why? Because he understands the organization. Later on, it's going to get fixed in one area, which is his expertise. But before getting into an expertise slot, which may take 3 years, at least, various services will shift, keep changing, all those things. But then afterwards, you see, finally each older devotee gets settled in a particular expertise. He does that job expertly. But he has got what is the organization, what is everything he understands. So he feels, I am part of the whole. That means whole also you should feel. Part also you should feel. The role of the part you should feel, role of the whole you should feel. So in this way, there is a great inspiration from the whole.
And regarding the evening program, Prabhu,
Yeah.
we have in our temple, it's special that apart from Sandhya Arati, we have a Shayana Arati program also. So it's a
That I
little
forgot
later.
to mention, yes.
Yeah.
Shayana Arati, we encourage all the devotees who are come back from preaching to join the Shayana Arati. That's what you wanted to tell, no? Yes, this is, because Shayana Arati is by late, so by then devotees come back. So that Kirtan, you should always make sure that not only morning program, evening, go for Shayana Arati at least, if you come late.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. In this verse and everyday's life, there's one word which is very important, that chasing the chesta.
Chesta.
Chesta part. Because chesta, further getting direction is leading towards the right destination basically. So just want to understand, probably maybe tomorrow we can, this root of this chesta, how it is, getting developed. Any individual jivas.
No, chesta is effort. If you don't have a desire, you cannot have an effort. You have to have a desire, then you have to give effort. Effort is your determination to act as required to achieve your desire. So that is chesta. Krishna akila chesta. That means all our chesta should be to please Krishna. So Krishna should be pleased with my chesta. That means Krishna should be pleased with my desire. If Krishna has to be pleased with our chesta, our desire has to be Krishna's desire, Guru and Krishna's desire. So we cannot keep quiet. Always some chesta we are doing, unless one is in tamoguna. There he has no inspiration to act even for sense gratification. So there's tamasiki is. Kali sona hai, bas. But chesta, when we say chesta, that is service, devotional service. Service is actually chesta. Offering our chesta shakti. Just like you chant, offer the chesta shakti. Chesta to hear, chesta to utter uninterruptedly. Quality chesta you give. Quality chesta. Quality chesta comes from quality desire. A desire is strong, determination also will come. And how do you get desire? Desire, you adopt desires of pure devotees. That's why we engage in Prabhupada's mission, because these are all desires of Prabhupada, distributing books, all those. So we know that if you distribute books, it's 100% it is pleasing to Krishna, because it's a desire of Prabhupada. Grandharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.